Nigeria, the most populous country in Africa and one of the largest economies on the continent, going to elections.
Being a first-time voter, I should be happy, but I'm not happy because the two candidates aren't what I expected.
Being a first-time voter, I'm very excited because it's not something I've done before. So I want to be able to choose my leader, and it's the first time I'm going to do it, so I'm excited.
Nigeria decides. Watch SABC News for updates.
So, in breaking news this morning, Nigeria's presidential elections, which were due to be held today, have been delayed. They've been postponed to the 23rd. The chairperson of Nigeria's Independent National Electoral Commission, the INEC, has cited logistical concerns for the postponement of the country's presidential and parliamentary elections. INEC says that it also needs to address vital issues and maintain the quality of elections. Meanwhile, Nigeria's two main political parties, the ruling APC and opposition PDP, have condemned the move by the country's Independent National Electoral Commission to postpone today's presidential and parliamentary elections. The parties have also accused each other of trying to manipulate the vote. Well, to get a sense of what all of this means, I'm now joined in studio by Dr. Emeka Ugu, who's the Secretary General of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, here in South Africa, as well as the engineer Bola Babarinde, who is the chairman of the All Progressive Congress party here as well in South Africa. Gentlemen, thanks very much for joining us. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, Peter. Good morning.
So, I think the idea or the thrust of this delay, they're talking about logistical issues. Is that sufficient for both of you to delay these elections? Let's start with you.
Really, APC generally, the party headquarters in Nigeria, and we in South Africa, we condemn it with, it's regrettable that with all the funds provided by the government, there's nothing they require that were not given. But because they're independent, there's no way the ruling party can intervene. But if for better performance, for better election, it's welcome, especially that it's not too long. It's only 1 week, but we really condemn it.
PDP, do you feel the same way? That it's out of their hands completely, and you also condemning it?
I don't think so. I don't think it's out of their hands. I was in this studio yesterday where I mentioned that this is the most incompetent government we've ever produced. And I still stand by on that. And I equally mentioned my frustration and also the unpreparedness of INEC to conduct this election. And I'm vindicated. You know, it's very surprising that the ruling party is turning around to join PDP to condemn the cancellation. Allow me to finish. Allow me to make my point. Just allow you to make your point. Just allow me to make my point. Yeah. You know, so it's very, very frustrating and unacceptable that the ruling party is turning around to join us to condemn the election. I mean, the cancellation of the election. This is a government that has been in power for 4 years. INEC has always known that they will conduct election for 4 years. The president of the nation addressed the nation on Thursday, where he was assuring us that the Independent National Electoral Commission is ready to conduct the election. All of a sudden, they are turning around to say no, that they condemn it. Well, I can say that my heart bleeds for my nation, our heart bleeds for our nation, and our heart bleeds for Africa. I am saying that because...
All right, so he's saying that this is government ineptitude.
No, this is INEC. It is Independent National Electoral Commission. You see, this thing happened in 2011, during the reign of Jega, the National Electoral Commissioner. Now, in actual fact, in 2011, the election already started before they postponed it. So how can you say government?
Who does the INEC account to then?
It's the fault of the INEC, and that's why we are condemning it. But in actual fact, we are ready. And he's just playing game. He's just being economic with the truth. They love it because they are not prepared. We are prepared, and it affects us even more than them. But, you know, in politics, they are trying to play a game. They love it. They prepare for, you know, they never prepare for this election, and we are prepared, you know. But unfortunate thing is that INEC brought this thing about, and it's not the government. We don't want to interfere, because they are independent.
All right. So will we have free and fair elections if INEC, let's say that they have been incompetent, have not been able to deliver election materials, I believe, to as many as 8 regions, including the federal capital. Surely you can't have an election where not all the materials are present.
Yes, these are man-made logistic problems. And I counter what he's saying, that INEC is independent. The Independent National Electoral Commission is independent only on paper. And I can give you a million reasons why it's like that, and I will just state one for sake of time. The person that was given contract to print some of the PVCs, the Permanent Voters Register, is a card-carrying member of APC. Not only that he's a card-carrying member of APC, he is a contestant in this election from Niger State. Allow me to finish. From Niger State, his company was given the contract to print this and to also reprogram the PVC reading machines. And the reading machines have been reprogrammed now to even read fake cards. So how can you tell me that such a body is independent? It is never independent. That's one thing.
It is false. You know, PDP actually hired an American company for propaganda machinery. The guy that actually worked for Donald Trump is the one working for PDP. Their propaganda machinery is very sophisticated. All this news, initially they said the lady that was appointed recently for the collation center related to Buhari, eventually we found out that it was false. You know, they always carry this information.
So you're saying there's nobody,
nothing like that,
in your party,
nothing
that is involved with INEC in any way?
We are not stupid to do that. You know, it's not possible. But the propaganda, they're very strong in propaganda, and negative one. The most important thing is that they are happy. Even some of them are jubilating that the election was postponed because they are not ready. You know, so but they come to the studio.
When you say not ready, what does that mean?
They are not ready for this thing because they already realize that the game is up. Because in Nigeria, we are tired of corruption. But the leader, the person Atiku that is in charge, that is going to be, they want to be the president of Nigeria now, is the most corrupt politician in Nigeria. We all know. He cannot go to America. He cannot go to many places because he's wanted. So this thing of saying we plan for election to be false.
Can I just say? I mean, we're on international television. Let's state facts here. You cannot say that Atiku is corrupt and Atiku cannot go to America. And Atiku was in America a few weeks ago. They are saying Atiku. Allow me to speak. I allowed you to speak when you were talking. Allow me to talk. Allow me to speak. Can you allow me to speak? Atiku was in America a few weeks ago. So that debunked the allegation that they've been carrying out. He's corrupt. He cannot go to America. Let me state here categorically.
Allow me to speak. To the hotel.
Allow me to speak.
Just let him finish. Let him finish.
Atiku is corrupt. Atiku is corrupt. Atiku has not been found wanting by any government anywhere in the world. Atiku, wait, that's a lie. Atiku has not been charged to any court in Nigeria. So if you are telling me Atiku is corrupt in Nigeria and he's walking about and contesting as a presidential candidate, then you are confirming you are incompetent. That's what you're saying.
All right, so bottom line, the Nigerians people themselves are going to have to decide. Is a week going to make a difference? Is there anything sinister going on, or is it genuinely a mishandling by INEC of logistics?
It's only INEC that can answer that. But we, as I said from the beginning, that we condemn it in strong terms. Because we are ready. Because by tomorrow, they're supposed to announce the president, you know, that he should continue for the next level 4 years. But unfortunately, we have to wait for another 1 week, you know, to decide. But unfortunately, this should be the last. And the government, which is APC, I know they will do something about this INEC issue, because it's been constant thing. In 2011, the same thing happened. In 2015, the same thing happened. And look at what is happening now. So it is not the government, it is INEC. And because we want them to be independent.
To be fair, was more security issues, weren't there? Security concern.
There was never a time the Nigerian election was cancelled on the day of election. This is the very first time.
No.
This is the very. Allow me to talk. I allow you to talk when you talk. When it's time for me to talk, you interject. Allow me to talk.
2011, we already started voting. We already started voting before they postponed it.
This is the first time. This is the first time in the history of Nigeria where election is cancelled on the day of election. And I'm stating
right, so
that.
we're gonna continue to explore this. We're going to take a quick break. After that, we'll be back with the agenda. We'll continue to try and get a better understanding of the dynamics playing out in Nigeria. As today we found out 5 hours before the electorate was supposed to go to the polls, the Independent Electoral Commission in the country postponed the election by 7 days. We'll continue with that on agenda after this.